My first artifact is for ISTE Standard 1, Visionary Leadership. I chose to go with Standard 1C, Advocate for policies, procedures, programs, and funding strategies to support implementation of the shared vision represented in the school and district technology plans and guidelines. For this artifact, I used a letter written to the senators and representatives being an advocate for educational technology. I believe that it's extremely important that we are all aware of how crucial it is to be using technology with our students and in our schools. And as a future tech coach, being an advocate for technology is crucial to our jobs. There's not enough money being given to schools for their technology budgets, so the purpose of this letter I wrote was to kind of explain to senators and representatives how important technology is in the classroom. My second artifact for Standard 2G has to do with teaching, learning, and assessments. More specifically, coach teachers in and model effective use of technology tools and resources to continuously assess student learning and technology literacy by applying a rich variety of formative and summative assessments aligned with content and student technology standards. For this standard, I created a professional development workshop for the teachers in my school to teach them how to incorporate technology into formative assessments. It's always very important that we know what our students know, so this workshop really allowed teachers to gain knowledge on tools they can use to make their lives easier. We went over different technologies that would allow them to get information on how their students are doing in the class. They were able to explore this technology, and they truly got a variety of ways to see what their students know. Along with that, I had a PowerPoint created to go through, and as you see, there are Google Forms throughout. As important it is for them to know how to do formative assessments for their students, it's also just as important for me to perform formative assessments during professional development in order to see how much my teachers have learned. Standard 3 focuses on digital age learning environments and making an environment to maximize the learning of all students. For this artifact, I chose to do Standard 3D, and this had to do with selecting and evaluating and facilitating the use of adaptive and assistive technology to support student learning. My artifact was research done on assistive technology, Dynavox, which is a communication device, and this was used with a student I worked with at BOCES. During this study I did using the technology with the student, it really allowed him to participate in the class and kind of let him keep up with everybody else. Instead of being held back by his challenges, he was able to use instructional technology and assistive technology to truly have a supportive and effective digital age learning environment. Standard 4 is professional development and program evaluation. This standard has to do with coaching and conducting needs assessments, develop technology-related professional learning programs, and evaluating the impact of those programs that are implemented. For this artifact, I looked at Standard 4A, which is conducting needs assessments to inform the content and delivery of technology-related professional learning programs that result in a positive impact on student learning. For this artifact, I went a little further with my previous artifact, developing instruments with needs assessments. I performed a needs assessment on teachers in my department and saw that we were not using technology to help us perform needs assessments. And after going through a professional development and teaching them how to use them, the teachers were then able to actually implement them in their classrooms. Then, in order to meet this standard, it was important to go back and see the impact on student learning. And what most of the teachers saw was they were able to stop and reteach a lot of the time when they saw that students weren't understanding what was being taught, and this really had a good influence on students and improved their understanding of what was done in the classroom. Standard 5 is about digital citizenship. Technology coaches model and promote digital citizenship. I chose an artifact from Standard 5A, model and promote strategies for achieving equitable access of digital tools and resources and technology-related best practices for all students and teachers. For this artifact, I chose a screenshot, actually, of what my school uses for becoming part of using the computer lab. And this really provides every single teacher in the school the opportunity to access technology to use with their students. We have different labs, computer labs, that you can click on the link and you're brought to an Excel document through Google Forms, and you just type in your name on a specific date. Everybody knows you're using that lab and nobody else will take it from you. So you can sign up months and months in advance for multiple different days, and you have no problem accessing the lab. There are also 8 carts, and these carts all have Chromebooks in them. Each cart has a whole class set, and through here you also have the ability to click and be brought to a document to sign up to use one of the Chromebook carts. Also, our school is lucky enough to have mobile labs and foreign language Chromebook carts, along with a few more carts that are hidden throughout the school. This is really great because I teach up on the 3rd floor, so by having this document where I can go and sign out carts to bring up from the bottom floor months in advance makes my life a lot easier. It also makes there be absolutely no question as to whether or not I will have access to a computer. The last standard, Standard 6, is about content knowledge and professional growth. As a technology coach, we are constantly hearing about new technologies available to us, new tools that can be used with our students, so it's very important to kind of look for different professional development workshops to attend to grow as a coach. For this standard 6A, engage in continual learning to deepen content knowledge in technology integration and current and emerging technologies necessary to efficiently implement the standards. I chose just a quick screenshot of a professional development workshop I took. This was a workshop given to first-year teachers to kind of expose us to the educational technology available in the school. This standard kind of can go along with Standard 5, Equitable Access, because it's really taking these brand new teachers who don't know what the school has to offer and teaching them all about what technology that there is available to them. Also at this workshop, they had teachers come and tech coaches come to kind of talk about how they have used technology in their classroom, how you can sign up for appointments to meet with technology coaches to kind of get some one-on-one training. And this was really great to expand my understanding of what the school had to offer to me to use with my students. One of my field experience journals that I wrote was about a program I put on with a few other teachers, and it was actually really great. It really worked towards being an advocate for technology and trying to get the community involved and exposing them to how important technology was within the school. This activity that I did had students come into the school after hours, and them and their parents were able to go around the school and working with different technologies that we offer. One of the greatest things that I did was use Edmodo with the students and the parents to give them a really great idea how it's used. A lot of the time the students go home and will have homework on Edmodo or have something to do on Edmodo, and if they don't know how to do it, the parents most likely don't. And there's really a misconnection there between the school and home. And as a technology coach, I think it's important to kind of cut that barrier off and allow there to be a continuous use of technology both at home and in the school. I also worked with some parents and students on Google Apps. I helped parents realize how to use Google Drive with their kids to kind of, again, break that barrier of home and school technology use. This also kind of just opened their eyes as to what was available to them, and it was a very successful field experience. I mean, I spent a lot of hours working with the other teachers to set it up to kind of coach them so they would be able to coach the parents and the teacher, or the parents and the students, when they came in to explore what we had to offer. Lastly, for my case study, I worked with 4 other teachers in small groups, in one big group, and even individually on implementing blogging into their classroom. I think it's really important for students to be involved in the sciences and have a sense of what's going on in current science in their everyday lives. There's a lot of careers out there that have to do with science and math, so getting them interested and improving and increasing their enthusiasm was really my goal of this case study. What we did was we worked to get students set up with blogs. They then did research on current events and found articles, videos, pictures, and posted them to their own blog. And on their blog, they had to cite the information, where they got it. They had to reword everything, put everything into their own words. So we really incorporated literacy into the sciences. And then not only did they do that, but they shared their blogs with the entire class. And this really motivated the students to take their time on their research, to make sure they double checked their spelling and their grammar and what they had written. And then they even were able to comment on each other's blogs with questions and with different ideas that they might have on how to solve a problem that might be happening. What I found from this too is that students became so much more interested in what was going on outside of the school, outside of just that science curriculum they were taught in the building. They came into class with many different questions that I thought were amazing. I mean, they wanted to know why things were happening, what they could do to change them, and I saw that in conclusion, it really did increase their motivation. It increased their interest in going out and learning something on their own. And that's very important in order to, one, facilitate and inspire their own creativity. Okay, it was designing and developing digital age learning experience and promoting digital citizenship and responsibility. All great important skills for students to be college and career ready as technology is becoming more and more prevalent in their lives. Thank you very much.